What's up, guys? This is Mauricio Cardinal from Roofing Marketing Pros. Today I want to look at how many roofing companies are spending money on AdWords. I think this is an important question to ask to get a really good understanding of what the competition is and exactly how many of your competitors are actually spending on a single strategy. So the tool that I'm going to be using to showcase this is SpyFu.com, and this tool allows you to look at a lot of the back end of each website's marketing. So it allows you to look at the SEO, the PPC, what keywords are bidding on, etc., etc. And I'm going to be using this tool right here. And I'm going to go to business leads. And the way SpyFu works is it actually allows you how many domains or how many companies are actually bidding for certain keywords. So what I'm going to be looking at are the most common keywords that most roofers bid on, and I'll be looking at what's their ad budget, how many clicks they're getting on SEO, and how many companies are actually spending money on AdWords. So I'm going to look at the certain roofing contractors, actually probably the most common. Add that as a keyword. Company, commercial roofing company. Roof repair, roof replacement. Just adding different keywords that I think are relevant. TPO roofing, flat roof. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do is actually go to the AdWords budget and see how much they're spending. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at how much they're spending on for more than $500. So I'm going to click that option and see how much they're spending. So $400, more than $500, and just look at how many companies they are. There's about 8,000 results. That's a lot. So let me see if that's right. So okay, now that's right. So there's about all these keywords that I'm looking at, how many companies are bidding for these keywords? If you look at, there's about close to 600 companies. So there's about 600 roofing companies are spending at least $500 on AdWords. If you look at some of the companies here, DE Roof, Andrews Roofing, Centimark, I'm sure you guys have heard of that one. They're spending about $12,000 a month on AdWords. Now, if you look at the Roofing Contractor magazine, Centimark is, according to this list, they're number one company. They've generated over $600 million and focus 100% on commercial. So it just gives you a good understanding. I actually went through a lot of these companies in this list, and most companies are pretty heavily invested in AdWords. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. And it's really interesting to look at because if some of the biggest companies in this space are using one specific strategy, it must be working, right? So let's refine these options and see what kind of results we can get. I'm gonna go to, let's see, they're spending $1,000. Let's say, you know, $100,000 per month. So how many companies do we get? About 455 companies are spending about at least $1,000 on AdWords. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this doesn't include the big companies, like the really big companies that are heavily invested. They're actually not roofing companies, but they're lead generators. Companies like Home Advisor, Local Roof Quotes, they're each spending over $1 million a month on AdWords. So it's pretty interesting to look at how many of these, what the competition is. And if you look at some of the SEO clicks, it's basically almost the same type of, they're getting about 100 clicks from organic, so they're getting 100 visitors, more than 1,000. Let's see how many are more than 1,000. Let's see, let's click this out. So let's only include the getting SEO clicks more than 1,000. So 168 companies are getting more than 1,000, and they're bidding for these keywords. So what this tells me is that there are actually more companies that are spending money on AdWords instead of SEO. What this means for you is that there's probably less competition in your area when it comes to SEO. And that's what I found myself. Myself, if you're doing SEO in a smaller city like El Paso versus a bigger city like Dallas, it's a big difference. It's a lot easier to rank for in a smaller city. And in our experience, ranking these roofing websites is not difficult at all, especially with the search engines today. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at. For my research, there's at least 530 companies that are spending at least $1,000 a month on AdWords. So if you do the math, it's 500 times 1,000. That's $500,000 a month minimum on AdWords. Obviously, it's a lot more than that because a lot of these companies are spending a lot more than $500. I mean, than $1,000. So it's really interesting to look at what these companies are doing. If you look at Mark, look how much organic traffic they're getting. That's 8,000 clicks. So they're getting a lot of organic traffic and a lot of AdWords budget. Look at Whitcore Roofing, they're spending about 14,000. Look at some of these other companies. So it's really interesting to look at how many of these companies are actually spending a lot of money on AdWords. If you look at more than 5,000, let's go with these. Paul Bange Roofing, Jammer Roofing, look at NA Roofing. I'm sure you heard of these companies. Buildin.com, I examined that one last week. Local Roof Quotes, these are guys spending $68,000 a month. That's easy over almost close to, $1 million, less than a million, almost $1 million a year. And this doesn't include HomeAdvisor, which is interesting, but I know HomeAdvisor is spending at least $1 million or $2 million a month. And it's really interesting to look at all these companies are spending all this amount of money on one single strategy. What does that tell you? It tells you that obviously they're seeing success, but they're not only seeing success, they're obviously getting a return on their investment. So it's interesting to look at. Just keep a reminder, all of these companies that are doing this as well. Not all of them are doing it, but a lot of them are. Just really interesting to look at. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you.